We've had a long-standing model, capital allocation model, where we're looking to invest roughly half of our cash flows in organic growth and take the other half and return it to stakeholders. We've also built up a pretty strong balance sheet. So as we've looked for opportunities to add to that inventory, certainly these opportunities in Western Canada percolated to the top.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Corey Rattan. He is the CEO of Alva Petro Energy. And Corey, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, the company's out with some pretty interesting news. First off, you've talked about your sales volumes and also about some work you're going to be doing in the future. Let's talk about sales volumes first. You got to be pretty happy when you post a 41% increase.
Yeah, no, we previously announced an update to our long-term gas sales agreement with Bahia Gas in December. That included a 33% bump in our firm sales volumes, and obviously that's translated into a nice month of January sales for us, over 2,400 barrels of oil equivalent per day. And as you said, that's up 41% over the fourth quarter of last year. So.
Yeah, and I guess Corey, because you're able to sort of set certain prices that you'll be able to sort of have more consistency moving forward on that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That increase in our firm sales volumes kind of increases the kind of base cash flow stream that we should expect from our assets. And as part of that update, we also enhanced the gas pricing mechanism within our contracts. So it now adjusts every quarter, and it's a function of Brent oil equivalent prices and Henry Hub natural gas prices. So we just in this release also announced the latest update to that pricing, and what it translates into is a realized gas price of over $10.50 US per MCF. So certainly pretty attractive relative to North American standards.
Yeah. You also in the news release talk a little bit about sort of the plans ahead and growth for the company. And one of those you mentioned is the Murucututu, and I'm hoping I'm saying that right, field in the growth plan. Can you sort of talk to me a bit about that and what you're looking to do really starting very soon?
Yeah, no, you did a great job with the pronunciation. Previously we announced a pretty positive result from our 183A3 well on that project. It's a 100% working interest project. It's certainly well ahead of expectations, and we're just about to start drilling the follow-up well to that, which is 183D4. And structurally, it's being drilled up dip about 110 meters from the original well. So we're quite excited about that, and we'd expect results sometime close to the end of this quarter.
Yeah. And the plan is for many more of these development wells. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. So I also want to ask you in the news release, you talk about Canada as well and partnering with Durham Creek Energy. And this is an interesting one because obviously it's close to home, but it also gives you an opportunity to really put the company in a position. And you're only able to do that because you've got a good balance sheet, right, Corey?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And, we've had a long-standing model, capital allocation model, where we're looking to invest roughly half of our cash flows in organic growth and take the other half and return it to stakeholders. We've also built up a pretty strong balance sheet. So as we've looked for opportunities to add to that inventory, certainly these opportunities in Western Canada percolated to the top, and we now have the ability to allocate our organic growth capital across high rate of return projects in two countries, and we're quite excited about this. We're targeting the Mannville heavy oil fairway, so there's a lot of oil in place on a per square mile basis, and what's happening is a lot of operators are applying new technology, which is also consistent with our long-standing approach to try and bring new ideas to bear in new opportunities. And the technology is open hole multilateral wells, can achieve pretty high rates of return and very compelling payouts. So with success here, with a relatively small investment, I think we can develop a self-funding growth platform in Western Canada right in our back door.
Yeah, and you talk about potentially 100 development drilling locations if successful. That's obviously super positive. Corey, it sounds like this is going to be a very busy year for the company, and people should be prepared for lots of news this year.
Yeah, no, we think so as well. Yeah, no, I think 2025 is going to be a breakout year for Alvopetro, and I think we're off to a good start.
Absolutely. Corey, thanks so much. Good update and good to talk to you as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Corey Rattan, the CEO of Alvopetro Energy.